The snake is the sixth animal in the Chinese zodiac. And apparently this year it is actually the wood snake. Every 12 years it's like a different element. So there's like wood snake, earth snake, fire snake. Now the year of the snake officially begins on January 29th, 2025. And to celebrate the year of the snake, Nike is putting out this shoe on the same day. Air Jordan 1 Low OG, year of the snake. Now the shoe is dropping on January 29th for $160. It is just one shoe for the whole Year of the Snake collection from Nike and Jordan brand. So we also got the Jordan 11 Low, the Jordan 5, Jordan Legacy 312, the Jordan 1 Low non-OG, the women's exclusive, and first impressions of this shoe. I think compared to last year, the Year of the Dragon Jordan 1 Low OG, I think that was much better than this. And I wasn't like super overwhelmed by that shoe. I feel like the dragon is just one of the coolest creatures or animals, whatever you want to call it. Just one of the coolest. And I don't feel like they really went all out for that shoe. The green, like dragon scales, I get that reference. They had some pretty cool storytelling there with the red pocket, the insoles as well. But overall, just as a shoe, like the colorway itself, it didn't exactly blow me away. This shoe, compared to that, if like properly wound was how I felt with the Jordan 1 Low from last year, the Year of the Dragon, I gotta say I'm slightly underwhelmed with the colors and colorway of the shoe, just the way it looks itself in a vacuum, like subjectively obviously when it comes to colors. But like if I just saw this on the shelf, I really wouldn't be blown away by it. Now one thing I did appreciate about last year was the Air Force One Year of the Dragon, the special China exclusive. That's not everyone's thing. I'm not saying that's the best looking shoe, but I can at least appreciate, even though it comes at a very high cost, I can appreciate that they went all out and really swung for the fences for that shoe. Maybe this year they're gonna have a special limited Year of the Snake shoe and it might blow my socks off. But for this one, I'm not like super impressed. I think it's clean. I think it's easy to wear. But yeah, it's not like too different or too special compared to some like other general release Jordan 1 Low OGs. Now, one thing I will say, Nike better come correct with all the Mamba releases they are going to put out this year. Obviously, Mamba, Year of the Snake, the whole tie-in is just so obvious. It's right there. We've already seen the official images of the Kobe 5 Protro, Mamba. There's like a red pair also coming out. But for the rest of the year, yeah, they better come correct. And the materials on the shoe, it is completely leather. So on the base layer, just white leather. Does have that kind of polyurethane coating that is very standard on a Jordan 1. Does feel pretty soft though in the toe box area, especially not like overly soft where it can feel kind of flimsy. And the overlays, you see this textured grayish leather. And that leather there isn't actually as like thin as I initially expected. A lot of times Jordan 1 Lows can come with like super flimsy type of leather. And then on the swoosh, you'll see this kind of ripstop material on the outer layer. And it comes in this kind of iridescent aesthetic. Now there are snakes that do like look iridescent. It's kind of crazy, looks kind of wild. So they didn't just shove this kind of pattern on the swoosh for no reason, or maybe they did and they got lucky, but I can see the storytelling there and the movie on the tongue. If you look up close, you can see this kind of snakeskin texture as well, or faux snakeskin texture, kind of made to look like the scales of a snake. Very subtle. And at the very top, you see a black on black Nike Air tag. I do like how that looks. Black on black tags look very sleek. Not sure if it works the best on this colorway though, but in a vacuum, I do like how the tag looks by itself. And while we're on the tongue, one thing that is different between the OG Jordan 1 Lows versus non-OG is the tongue on the OGs has Nike Air branding, not Jumpman branding, and it's also like a bit more subdued. It's not like in your face like the non-OGs are. And this shoe doesn't come with any extra laces, just one set of laces out of the box. This mint green color. Not quite sure I love that color on this shoe. Probably honestly would have preferred just like white laces, but mint green it is. For the shoe, since it is kind of a special release, kind of wanted like some special lace tips, but nope, just the general plastic lace tips it is. And then moving to the booty of the shoe, this is probably the most unique part about the Jordan 1 Low Year of the Snake. You see this jeweled wings logo, and again, kind of got this reflective iridescent type of aesthetic to it that I believe is to resemble the eyes of a snake. Again, when you search for like snake eyes, it honestly looks kind of crazy. It really is quite beautiful. It's one of those creatures where it's like from a distance, I can really appreciate how it looks, like under a certain setting. but if it ever comes close to me, the appreciation is gone. I'm getting out of there. Another difference here, the OGs has the Wings logo on the heel tab. The non-OGs has it on the heel counter. Now the Jordan 1 Low OG comes with a rubber cup sole with just a Nike Air unit on the heel. Pretty much no technology. Cushioning is very, very old. Very flat to the ground shoe, just like the way Michael Jordan wanted it. And it does come with the semi-translucent outsole. Again, in this kind of mint green color from like a distance, or like not up close. It does look a little bit more creamy and not that nice, honestly. I don't love the color of these outsoles. I probably would have preferred just like a super icy outsole. That would have looked really cool, I think. But yeah, up close, it's this light mint green color. And the sole itself, it is like pre-aged, it is sail. Don't think they really needed to apply sail to this shoe specifically, but I will refrain from complaining. Trying to start the year off right. Now this shoe does come with a Jumpman hang tag. So this one does have this faux snakeskin texture all over with a Jumpman in the middle, and that is like its own piece. And the chain, or whatever you call it, this thing that holds the hang tag to the shoe, that actually comes with these beads. Not exactly sure what the proper or official name for those beads are. I usually, or have always just called it like Buddha beads, that plays into the whole Chinese New Year theme. So I kind of like that storytelling there. Would I ever wear it when I'm wearing this shoe? Absolutely not, but I do like having it. And the insole of the shoe, this very light blue color, does have Jordan 23 on the heel. It is kind of branded slightly differently. I can't figure out exactly what that's trying to portray. Maybe 23 is supposed to look like a snake. I'm not too sure. Completely gone over my head. So if you can tell, if you do know, please let me know. Of course, on Nike.com, this is just a general kind of complaint on Nike.com. The description of these kind of special releases, it's really bare bones. Like they don't really tell you what the storytelling is like, some different references to different choices on the shoe. Yeah, I wish they can just spend a bit more time, just a little bit more time on their descriptions. And the box of the shoe also kind of got this iridescent aesthetic. And one thing that is cool, I believe, is the paper in the box. May seem like white paper in the video, but actually up close, it's made to look like snakeskin too. Yeah, I like that subtle detail. Now moving on to sizing and comfort, I'm a wide and flat footer for Jordan 1 Lows. I just stick true to size. I think lengthwise, widthwise, if it's pretty good, if you don't have wide and fat feet, you might be able to go down half a size compared to what you usually wear for a Jordan 1 High. And the main reason for that is the padding around the ankles, not as like thick or as padded in that area of the shoe. So if you have like narrow or non-wide feet, you probably could go down half a size. My recommendation is, if you're a wide and fat footer, definitely just stick true to size. Now in terms of the overall comfort, the cushioning is pretty much not really there. A rubber cup sole is very durable though. You know, it's like a tried and true technology, but it is still pretty heavy, not as responsive compared to like EVA foam or polyurethane, Phylon, or like Cushlon, of course, that's modern day technology. But yeah, very old technology. It is not the most comfortable shoe. You feel quite flat to the ground, almost like you're just kind of wearing very thick cardboard. But if you were just wearing it here and there for casual use, wouldn't complain. I do feel like though, if you wear this like all day, like if you're in New York City and you're doing like a touristy thing where you're walking on your feet all day, I definitely wouldn't recommend this shoe. It does start to hurt your feet. And that brings the total sole score of the Jordan 1 Low OG Year of the Snake to 32 out of 50. Pretty average score compared to other special releases. Now first it is colorway. I think this is a very decent and clean colorway. You can't really go wrong with a white base Jordan 1 Low. The gray is very, very nice as well. I really like the black Nike Air tag, but the mint green and the light blue on the tongue and everything, how it goes together, it's not like super overwhelming. I'm not like dying to have this colorway. I think it's nice, but it's nothing that I get too excited about. Now in terms of the materials, it is actually decent, especially for Jordan 1. The polyurethane coating on the white leather, it's never been my favorite, but it is standard for Jordan 1s. And the overlays, I'm actually pleasantly surprised. It's not super flimsy, super thin, but it does feel kind of soft to the touch. And in terms of the comfort of this shoe, Jordan 1 Low, I think objectively, you gotta really set your expectations. It's not gonna employ or use the latest technology. Still very flat to the ground. Wearing it for a few hours here and there, not gonna be a huge problem. But if comfort is your #1 priority when it comes to a shoe, Jordan 1 Low OG is definitely not the one to go with. Now in terms of the versatility of the shoe, I think the Jordan 1 Lows just are probably the most versatile sneaker maybe ever. Even more than the highs. I feel like if you don't care about sneakers, you probably prefer a low cuts. And this is just a timeless, easy to wear silhouette. In terms of the wearability of the colorway, I think it's super wearable as well. A majority white sneaker, very hard to go wrong with that. The mint green and the light blue might be maybe a bit too much for some people. The iridescent kind of colors on the wing logo, on the booty, as well as the swoosh itself, that may be a little bit too much as well, maybe too bold, but again, quite subtle. It's not like in your face. So I feel like overall, still a very versatile shoe. Now, in terms of the storytelling, I feel like the kind of faux snake skin texture on the tongue is kind of obvious. The swoosh, that kind of iridescent color, that's pretty cool storytelling as well, especially if you pull up images of like an iridescent looking snake. I feel like, again, compared to last year, came with like a red pocket with like some really on brand, on theme insoles. Red is a color that is very often used in Lunar New Year. This year didn't incorporate any red, which is fine, like on the shoe itself. But I do feel like if you're looking at this shoe and you didn't know what it was about, you may not be able to like connect the dots and figure out that it's definitely like part of a Lunar New Year release. So I feel like the storytelling is pretty decent, but just one or two things they probably missed out on. Just like the dragon, I think the snake is a very cool animal. So my expectations were pretty high for the year of the snake. And did they meet those expectations? I hate to say it, because just in terms of the colorway and how the shoe looks visually, still a very nice and clean colorway, but does it get me super excited? Does it like tickle my sneaker hormones? I gotta say it doesn't. Just 100% giving you my honest opinion, one person's opinion. Yeah, it just doesn't. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Soul Inclined. Let me know what you think of the Air Jordan 1 Low OG Year of the Snake. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come to wear your shoes.